Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation on how to use Microsoft MakeCode Arcade for your writing projects. My name is Samantha Westerland and I'm the kindergarten through 5th grade teacher technology teacher at Little River Elementary in the Cherokee County District in Georgia. And I'm really excited to talk to you all today about a project I created using one of my favorite Microsoft tools, MakeCode Arcade. Before we go ahead and get started, I want to show you my Wakelet where I have compiled video tutorials, web pages, and information on MakeCode. It also includes this PowerPoint, example games my students have created, and lots more great tools as well. And you can find it right here at this web page, or you can also scan this QR code. So what exactly is MakeCode? Microsoft MakeCode is a free online learn-to-code platform where anyone can build games, code devices, and mod Minecraft. MakeCode has 3 platforms: Arcade, Microbit, and Minecraft. MakeCode has those 3 platforms which are really super easy to use, but today we are going to be talking about MakeCode Arcade. MakeCode Arcade is a full-featured coding platform for creating games using blocks, JavaScript, and Python with access to code elements to build any console games that you can really think of. The homepage is where you begin your coding experience and offers selections for you to create a brand new project, use tutorials, and also play sample games. The editor has a toolbox which has full functions and methods to build your game. You can share and save your projects and complete a game simulator as you're coding to test your code. So often we think of coding in education as something separate from each other, or we use it during Computer Science Education Week. But I personally feel that coding can be included in lots of different subject areas and can vastly help improve students in all content. So today I'm going to be talking to you about coding and writing, where I used it as a to help build up my students' writing skills. So coding and writing can go hand in hand, such as storytelling, where we use sequential order. Students have to plan ahead in writing, and they can also need to plan ahead when they are coding using like graphic organizers. Eliminating excess words, meaning to try and keep everything concise, creativity, and of course the editing process too. So with that, when I taught writing in 4th grade last year, I was always trying to connect the 21st century skills. This is a unit overview that my county created for an Oregon Trail writing project, which went hand in hand with their social studies unit. Students had to create an opinion essay on whether or not they would have traveled west during the Oregon Trail. And then they had to pull their reasons to create a digital product, whether a poster on like Adobe Spark or on Sway, or also if they could create a PowerPoint presentation or a Flipgrid. So some of my students approached me and they really wanted to do something with coding in mind, especially because we utilized it a lot in my classroom. So I decided to use MakeCode Arcade. Especially using the heavy influence on a certain game that we used during our unit, which of course was this game. The inspiration was the original Oregon Trail game, which we also played in different aspects, including task cards and the emulator. And ultimately, when my students decided to create a game, this heavily influenced it. So before my students created the game, they planned every aspect using grid paper. MakeCode Arcade has like this pixelated form, so they use grid paper to plan out their tile map, their maze, or even their sprites and their avatars. So their hazards and reasons were coincided, so students would code a hazard that if the sprite overlapped it, then the text box or splash would pop up on the screen, so the gamer would read what their reasons were if they wanted to go on the Oregon Trail or not, and then that way it would also fulfill the digital component for their unit writing task. Here is an example of one of my students' games. This one is a maze. They could either create a maze or a side scroller. Here is their code on the side, and I'm just going to go ahead and play their game. As you can see, it has a little bit of an overview and a welcome screen. The student created a wagon which could move its wheels, and they coded it where they had to move along the maze to collect certain items, and if they hit a hazard, the pop-up splash would come up, and it would show their reasons, which are taken again directly from the essay that they created. So as you can see, there is one of their reasons, and at the side here is also their code, which again is how they use their splash and correlated it to the digital task. Another example, which is the side scroller. The side scroller is, again, in the traditional way of the old video game. So this student had to, instead of doing a maze, did a side scroller, and they would collect wheat, which had a high score rating at the top. And here is their code as well, that if they hit a hazard, their reason and opinion would also pop up on the screen too. MakeCode Arcade may seem very daunting at first, especially thinking of how you can add it to your subject areas, but there are plenty of resources to help guide you. I always feel the best way to get ideas is to try it for yourself, and I encourage you to try the skill map tutorials on the homepage, such as the examples that are here on my screen. So that's it, and a little bit about how I use coding and games to showcase my students' writing. I do hope that you were a little inspired by this, and let's connect, as I love connecting with educators on the amazing Microsoft tools that we have. You can follow me on Twitter using @LevelUpTechLab, or you can also email me, samantha.westerland@cherokeek12.net. And if you have any questions, ideas, or want to share your work, let's get in touch. Don't also forget that I have that Wakelet as well, which you can scan the QR code, which will take you directly to the videos, tutorials, and the example games I've shown you as well, so you can play them, look at the code, and maybe get inspired by that too. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to collaborate with you in the future. Have a great day. Bye.